Yeah, LTL true crime, we going deep in the dark. Yeah, peeling back the layers, expose the hidden mark. From the streets to the alleys where the secrets lie, getting into minds of the wicked, no alibi. LTL true crime, unraveling the web of evil. No stone left unturned, we dive into the pond. Yeah, we digging up the dirt, bringing justice to the crime. LTL true crime, unveiling dark realities every time. Yeah, LTL true crime, we going deep in the dark. Peeling back the layers, expose the hidden mark. From the streets to the alleys where the secrets lie, getting into minds of the wicked, no alibi. LTL true crime, I go. We don't get live in the shine, but then I'm not talking, baby, they got so. Look up the place in your world. No can you wait your life. Good now, you wish your love. We thought it done. You'll be without it, die. Better than money that goes. Yeah, I think down true crime. I'm done with dark realities every time. This year. Yeah, I think down true crime. I'm done with dark realities every time. Yeah, LTL true crime. We going deep in the dark. Yeah, peeling back the layers, expose the hidden mark. From the streets to the alleys where the secrets lie, getting into minds of the wicked, no alibi. LTL true crime. We going deep in the dark. Yeah, peeling back the layers, expose the hidden mark. From the streets to the alleys where the secrets lie, getting into minds of the wicked, no alibi. LTL true crime, we going deep in the dark. Yeah, peeling back the layers, expose the hidden mark. From the streets to the alleys where the secrets lie, getting into minds of the wicked, no alibi.
Good morning, members. Welcome in, everybody. Good to see everybody here. If you're here, make sure to smash the like button. That would be awesome. Lots of things going on here lately behind the scenes in LTL land. It's been crazy. It's been really crazy. Excuse me. I've been balancing a lot of plates lately, a lot of hats, or whatever the saying is, but we're trying to do the best here, to try to keep content going on the channel, building out this stressful studio. Just want it to be over. I want it to be together. It's been an adventure, but I'm going to take a ride over today. I have some time. I'm going to spend probably about 2 hours this afternoon in the studio putting video and audio gear together. And then I have to step out. I have an appointment, and then I plan on going back there for quite a while. And then I may do a live tonight, which is going to be back on the Idaho 4 case, as there's been some new information, some new updates. So I want to get through that live as well. As far as the Karen Reed stuff, there really hasn't been much. A lot of the stuff is going to start on Friday. That's going to be some of the most important hearings in this case. And I've just been kind of waiting. I've been busy. Been super busy, super busy. So anyway, welcome in. Yes, Plevin. We're going to talk about Plevin a little bit. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Cindy, LKJ. Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Lainey. Good morning, Rogue. Good morning, and Nanya. Top of the morning to you as well, too. So I usually don't do this type of content. I kind of stay away from it, but it's something that I wanted to call out and just discuss with the members here. I didn't really feel the need that this needed to go public, but I thought we'd have a little bit of fun with it here in the members only section, because you're all paying members. You kind of locked into what goes on, especially in the Karen Reed case. But so Kevin from Yellow Cottage Tales came at me the other day, which was kind of funny because the point that he tried to make on Twitter ultimately ended up making him look like an a-hole. So I thought that was kind of funny, but I want to show you kind of what started all of this. And it actually started with a tweet that I called out from Coffin Daffer. And I thought this was kind of funny. And I don't know if you follow me on Twitter, you can at Let's Talk Live YTC. I urge you to go over and follow me on Twitter. I try to tweet as much as I can, but sometimes I just don't have time for it. So Jennifer Coffindaffer put a tweet out on April 7th, said, "Some good guys aren't good guys. Terrible day for the blue. May the deplorable excuse for an officer receive the harshest punishment available. There is no excuse, none. He betrayed all of us. Hashtag Massachusetts, hashtag bad cop." And the headline was, "Former Mass police officer charged with assaulting a man during a 2022 arrest." And I thought it was kind of funny that Coffindaffer would put out this type of tweet, knowing her stance in the Karen Reed case. So I kind of fired back at her. And I said, "Wow, bad cops in Massachusetts. You don't say." I said, "I wish you'd open your eyes to the corruption, lies, and cover up in the Karen Reed case." And obviously I tagged Coffindaffer. So we'll go down here a little bit and let's see. Again, I hate Twitter. I think it's dumb, but I wanted to show what Plevin had to say. I might have to go, let's see. Okay, let's see if I can get his response. Okay, so now Plevin comes in and says, "At this point, the corruption seems to be on the federal end." Quote, "the federal end, which is far more dangerous." Well, I tweeted back and I said, well, Plevin from Yellow Pee-Pee Trails, even the FBI, which is Coffindaffer's, which is part of her peeps. Those are her peeps. Brought in an external expert with 3 PhDs in accident reconstruction, someone not affiliated with the Commonwealth or Karen's defense. This expert concluded that Officer O'Keefe's injuries don't match the damage on the SUV, and the SUV's damage doesn't align with his injuries. This suggests that there is no collusion between Officer O'Keefe, collision between Officer O'Keefe and Karen's SUV. Can you explain what and where the corruption is on the federal end? So Plevin fires back and says, "Brian, after all," and this is the this is the sweetness right here, because I knew I had him in the first sentence. He said, "Brian, after all this time, why do you accept Alan Jackson's word at face value without seeing any document? To develop a sense of skepticism, defense attorneys are paid to spin bits of facts or lines of a report into a yarn. For example, there was a non-human hair, and the state could not have used a 2023 version of the software in 2022, nor is there a gap in the library video. In fact, the judge recently ruling has warning clearly directing at Jackson about distortion and misrepresentation of the facts within the impounded evidence. We have absolutely no idea what the independent expert hired by the feds found. We have no idea who he or she is. We have no idea what the conclusions are. Haven't you seen this trick before several times? This summer, Free Karen Reed people, including Turtle Boy, were saying Jessica Hyde was not supporting the prosecution, but they hid key parts of Hyde's analysis. It's probably parts. When we finally saw her conclusions, we know she's saying all 3 Google searches took place at 6 a.m. Then in December, they tried the same trick on Cellbrite, Ian Wafflin's report. But of course, Whiffen concludes the same thing as Hyde. I've covered on my show several times showing his blog report. Ooh, a blog report. If you don't want to cover true crime in any depth, if you want to, now Daddy's speaking to me because he's trying to act like my dad. If you want to cover true crime in any depths, I'm happy to see you doing it in your new studio. You have to start looking at things from both sides and making conclusions. As far as I can tell, all of your sources have a rep for dishonesty, Turtle Boy, Sean, or intense bias, or paid advocacy. Olivia. Oh, Olivia is a paid advocacy, at least some of their sources to balance it off. So I went back and I looked at this tweet, and really the first line in Plevin's Yellow Pee-Pee Trails reply was, Brian, after all this time, why do you accept Alan Jackson's word at face value without seeing any document? Hold this in your memory bank because I just want to show my reply. And then we're going to play it. Jackson, so I replied to him, Jackson mentioned Lally received the same information from the federal authorities. It's unlikely Jackson would make such a statement officially unless it were accurate, and Allie indeed had the report, suggesting in public courtroom that the federal authorities are engaging in issuing false reports would be a foolish move. And then Kathy chimed in and said, this, Lally would have said that is not what the report said. So let's see. I think there's another response from. So, and then he went into saying that I seemed like a nice guy and all this other stuff. But this is my point in all of this. Plevin, Yellow Pee-Pee Trails. Do you think that Alan Jackson would get up in a public courtroom and lie to the world, lie in front of a judge, if Alan Jackson did not receive the report from the authorities with the conclusions of the independent investigation? That is probably one of the dumbest things I've ever heard Yellow Pee-Pee Trails say. Do you really think that Alan Jackson would risk his entire career to go out on the line and lie about a federal investigation in an open court? Well, let's go back and listen to that, because if Alan Jackson was being untruthful, one, he would probably be disbarred, and two, Lally would have stood up immediately after Alan Jackson said that we got the report and the Commonwealth has the report. And Lally would stand up and say, that's not true. So let's play that segment in court. Let's play that segment in court. If I can find the video.
First of all, it's always interesting to hear an argument that suggests there's nothing to see here. That's exactly what Mr. Lally did.
And the funny thing
again.
about it,
he said, look,
what does Bev say through this entire hearing? I have your reports. I got the reports. Bev has seen them. So this is one of the dumbest things that Yellow Pee-Pee Trails has ever said.
The other way, look the other way. Oh, it's the defense that wants you to look the other way. We don't want you to look the other way, Your Honor. We want you to look directly at the evidence of the compromised relationships that Trooper Proctor had and hid. That's what we want the court to look at. He suggests, oh, well, there's just a couple of text messages. It's no big deal. The fact is, Your Honor, she really hit him. She really hit him with the car. Let's remember, she really hit him. And these text messages, they mean nothing. We're talking about the integrity of a sitting grand jury and the presentation before that grand jury. What Mr. Lally now has in his possession, but he didn't mention, now that he says, oh, well, she killed him. Let's just get on with it. She killed him. He's already tried and convicted her in his mind and tried to do it in this courtroom. Doesn't quite work that way. Now Mr. Lally has in his possession another thing from the feds that we didn't have access to. The federal investigators hired, independent of us, we had no idea, and independent of the Commonwealth, hired a professional reconstructionist, 3 PhDs.
Bev would have stopped him right there. Bev would have jumped in and stopped him right there. Jackson, this is not true. Jackson, I did not see the report. And he's going to say right now that Lally has the report. So what is Plevin Yellow Pee-Pee Trails trying to say? What is he trying to say here? That Jackson's going to come up and risk his whole career on the Karen Reed case and get out into a public courtroom and put this on the record that the feds are lying, that he never got this that he's just putting it out there saying that I have a federal report, and then he's going to lie about it to risk his career, to risk to be disbarred for life? You got to be fucking kidding me.
To look into exactly this issue. Did Karen Reed's car, did her SUV make contact with John O'Keefe? And their conclusion to a person was his injuries were inconsistent with the damage on the car. The damage on the car was inconsistent with having made contact with John O'Keefe's body. In other words, the car didn't hit him and he wasn't hit by the car. Period. Full stop. That's their independent expert, not ours, not somebody on our payroll like Mr. Whiffen or one of their experts or Trooper Guarino, who's an arm of the agency. This is an independent federal government witness or series of witnesses who say unequivocally that car did not hit John O'Keefe and John O'Keefe was not hit by that car.
This is why the other side wants this to go away. This is why the other side wants this critical piece of information to go away, because it disproves all of their theories. In my mind, this is the most crucial sticking point in this case. Jackson just said it. Karen Reed's SUV did not make contact with John O'Keefe. Officer John O'Keefe did not make contact with Karen Reed's SUV. So how did he get beat up? How did he get all those injuries on him? Now you got to turn to the right. If you're standing this way in the street, turn to the right and look up. What's up that way? 34 Fairview. To me, this is the most crucial piece of evidence that has come out in this case. It literally certifies it now. It did not happen. It didn't happen. A reconstructionist with 3 PhDs said it did not happen. It is inconsistent with those injuries.
But he didn't mention that. Second, he argued that the texts were not, these aren't texts between Julie Albert and Michael Proctor. These are texts between his family members. And then he mentions these 2 texts that had no content. What are the chances that Michael Proctor sent Julie Albert texts with no content? Your Honor, it's not that they didn't have content.
Absolutely, Mary.
It couldn't be recovered, which sometimes happens. But we do have evidence that they were, in fact, in communication with each other as early as 2020. And with regard to the 2:27 a.m. search,
gee, I wonder if they looked at the Ford Edge. You think the Ford Edge could have hit Officer O'Keefe? Maybe someone got mad. John left the house, wanted to walk away, and someone mowed him down with their car. Could that have happened? Has that theory ever been thrown out there? Colin gets in the Ford Edge and runs him down. Someone in that house gets in the Ford Edge and runs him down. It's a possibility, right? Could it be? Maybe.
it's not a 3-card Monty. It's not a shell game or whatever other fanciful thing Mr. Lally wants to suggest that it is, as he tap dances his way around this. He says that our expert, Rick Green, didn't look at the SQLite database. Yeah, Mr. Lally, reread his report. Yes, he did. He didn't look at the wall file. Yeah, Mr. Lally, reread his report. Yes, he in fact did. And he's the one that found the 2:27 a.m. search. And with regard to the Regional Computer Forensics Lab, that's the definition he couldn't remember. What they actually said was, because Mr. Lally got this wrong too, what they actually said was, yes, there was a 6:23 and a 6:24 search. And there was a 2:27 a.m. search as well.
Yeah.
All three of those searches existed in the phone, Jennifer McCabe's phone, and it's not up for debate. That wasn't presented to the grand jury. The information that we've been talking about today wasn't presented to the grand jury. We're talking about the integrity of a proceeding. He doesn't get to convict my client by standing up here and pounding the table and saying, oh, she did it, she hit him. So let's just all get on with it and deny this motion. We're talking about the integrity of what is the foundation of Massachusetts judicial system. And that integrity was compromised, that integrity was impaired. And it demands that justice be done. And that justice is in the hands of this court. We ask this court to do what the evidence dictates, do what the law dictates, and that is dismiss this indictment. That is the only way justice will be found in this case. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, so now what I want Yellow Pee-Pee Trails to go back, watch that segment from Jackson. Now go back and watch Lally's reaction. Does Lally get up and say anything about Jackson lying? Does Lally get up and say anything about there's no federal report? Does Lally get up and say there was never any federal investigation or the reconstructionist with 3 PhDs confirmed this information? No. What is he going to do? He's going to go right into Turtle Boy now. And then he's going to talk about that we shouldn't dismiss this indictment. So, Plevin, before you speak, you need to go back and review, because I get it. I understand. You so hard, so bad want Karen Reed to be guilty. But you know the truth. And to get up there and say that Alan Jackson is lying to everybody is the most ridiculous thing that I've ever heard in my entire life. They just put it on the record in an open court. So let's listen to Lally's response now.
Thank you very much. Mr. Yannetti, are you all set?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
So the same time, and let's see how you do with it.
I'm sorry, we had Yannetti first. You get up and look at Lally's response. Lally's response. Let me go up here. Okay.
Start with 10 if you need more.
Listen to Lally. So after all that, we just had about, what, 15 minutes from Jackson, 15 minutes from Yannetti. He's gotten all the information on the table. Federal report has been talked about. Let's see Lally's response.
Thank you, Your Honor. And again, I don't think I'm going to need much more than that. Again, I know the court has reviewed all the materials, and I know the court is well aware of the standard, and it's a standard which I would submit just simply hasn't been met here.
The court has reviewed all of the materials. That's the report. That's the dismissal. That's all the information that Jackson Yannetti just talked about. So why are you trying to say that Jackson is lying? Lally would say it right now.
To characterize counsel's actions in this particular proceeding with specific reference to the media and saying it's different, I think is minimization to the highest degree. Essentially, what the defendant is positing, or what counsel is positing in this motion, is that due to a recorded statement by the district attorney over 6 months ago, that impinges on her right to a fair trial, or it impinges, shows some sort of deleterious motive on behalf of the district attorney in the handling of this case. The statement, as the district attorney indicated in it, was in response to an extraordinary degree of relentless and really relentless.
So where has he gone? Where is he going with this? Hasn't said anything, hasn't stood up, said Jackson's lying. There's no federal report. We didn't get that information. We can't confirm anything. He's now going to go into Turtle Boy. He's going to talk about Turtle Boy. Because Lally knows it's true. And the Commonwealth knows it's true. And Judge Bev knows it's true. Those reports happened. So I don't know what Yellow Pee-Pee Trails is trying to say. And, like I said, I think Plevin needs to go back, review these hearings, because I don't think that he's hearing the information. And again, like everybody was saying, it's deflection, because he knows at the end of the day that what he's built the backing of his channel off of, spinning the narrative that Karen Reed is guilty, this is all going to blow up in his face. It's all ultimately going to blow up in his face. We'll play a little bit more here from Lally, and then I do need to get out of here.
Harassment and intimidation of nearly every witness associated with this case, which included a July 22nd rolling rally of nearly 100 people traveling to witnesses' homes and calling them murderers. That is largely what this was in response to, and is in complete conformity with Massachusetts Rules of Professional Conduct 3.6b6 that permits an attorney to make a warning of danger concerning the behavior of a person involved when there is reason to believe that there exists a likelihood of substantial harm to an individual or to the public interest. It's also in conformity with Rule of Professional Conduct 3.6c, which allows for such statements to rebut the prejudicial effects of the defendant's and her counsel's misconduct. Now, again,
all right, I think we got the point, and I wanted to make my point. So, Plevin, Yellow Pee-Pee Trails, you're a moron. You looked like a moron the other day when you tried to come at me, and I knew right away in the first sentence when you said, could you take Alan Jackson for face value if we haven't seen the document? Yeah, I can on this one, Plevin. I can. Because why, again, I'm going to make my point here. Why would Jackson get up in an open court on the record and lie about a federal investigation to risk his whole career to put that one lie in on Karen Reed's case? It's not possible. It would not happen. And you're a moron. You're a moron. So everybody, again, I'm not really, one to do this type of material. It's why I wanted to do it for members only. You all get it. I don't really put this kind of stuff out on the main channel, but I thought we could have a little bit of fun with it and kind of fire back here. And, if Plevin wants to pay a membership fee and watch this video, please do. Please do. I would appreciate it. I would appreciate your contribution to LTL. Okay, I need to rock and roll. Good morning, everybody. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I'm going to be heading over to the space here in a little while. I'm going to do around a noontime live from there and give you some updates today. I'm going to be doing visual and audio, setting up and getting all that equipment out of boxes. What else? It's been a process. It's been a process. We, and I say my girlfriend and I had a lot of discussion about the arrangement of the room. I'm only in a 12 by 12 space, and I have a huge table in there for when people come in to sit down. So that's taking up about 5 feet. But I think last night we came to the conclusion, after many, many configurations and many discussions about it, I think we came up to the determination of how things are going to look. But she made a great point last night, because we were discussing, for about a week now, of how the room should set up. She said, why don't you get in there today, set up your camera, plug it in, because I'm using a completely different setter. I'm using a much wider lens now to get that beautiful background, blown out. So why don't you get in there today, set up your camera, and see the position of what it looks. That way you'll be able to arrange your furniture a little bit more before you start hanging everything up on the wall. Because once the TV goes up on the wall, it's staying there. It ain't moving. So that was a great idea. I said, an aha moment. So today I'm going to go over there today, set up the camera, get everything together, and then start getting positioning for the cameras. And that way it will kind of outline the rest of the way that I want to get the room set up. So I'm going to head out in a minute here, get over to the studio, start unpacking a little bit more. It's just been time consuming waiting for things to come in. I still have desk chairs that need to come in. I'm not completely happy with the chair that I got from my personal desk. So we might go to a smaller chair. I still have plants to get in there. I still have lighting to set up. It's been a lot of work. And I haven't really spent a lot of time there because we've been waiting for things to come in. So I know I'm still going to have to get a lot of cables and capture cards for the 1080p and 4K. It's a lot of work. I knew it was going to be a lot of work. I knew it was going to be stressful. But managing through it sometimes has been a lot, because I work a full-time job. I haven't been able to do a lot of content lately, so I apologize on that. But the studio has been like my main priority, and it's kind of just been the waiting game. So we're still waiting for stuff to come in, but I plan on spending some time over there this afternoon. I'm going to step out. I have an appointment, and then I'm going to go back. Hopefully I live stream today. I have a live stream, I think, set for 7 or 7:30. I'm going to get back to the Idaho 4 case because there's been some new information. Again, it hasn't just really been a lot in Karen Reed's case, so that's why I haven't been doing stuff. So yeah. Oh, look at this. Staples Advantage. I wish I would have known that because I bought my table from there and the table was pretty expensive, but it's nice. It's done. We're fine. But yeah, I'm going to head over. I'm going to do a live again from there about noontime. I'll show you some updates, some of the things I'm going to be working on today. And that's really been it. I'm just feel like something's missing in there right now, but my girlfriend was like, look, you know, once things start pulling together and you get everything up on the walls and stuff, it's going to feel more like home, you know? So, again, just working through it, working through all the bugs. I want to make sure I do it right the first time. So I'm not ripping shit off the walls and redoing it and having to repaint and all that. It's just getting it right the first time. So that's why I really haven't rushed. But I want to thank all of you members. I appreciate everything you have done for LTL. It makes a huge difference. And, you know, I could not do this without any of you. And I just want to bring, you know, an awesome experience to all of you and continue to grow this channel. I know I talk about it a lot. And, you know, it's just that damn YouTube algorithm. But I just say, if you can't watch live, at least go back, watch the videos on replay, comment, give them thumbs up. The most important thing too is turn on your notifications, your bell notifications. If they're not on, make sure to turn them on so you know when I go live. I usually post on Facebook. If you're not connected to my Facebook group or any of my other socials, please do. The links are down below. And I'll usually post on Facebook when I'm going to go live. So if you're not getting notifications, at least you can pop over there and get that notification to when I go live. And I usually leave the link in that notification so you can just hop right on. What else? That's really it. So I'm going to duck out. I have some things to do. I'm going to head over to the studio in a little while. I plan on doing a live from there at noon. Might be a little bit later, but maybe we'll get about a half an hour in, spend some time in the studio. You can see some updates over there, and we'll keep going from there. All right. Well, everybody, I appreciate all of you, all the members, all the supporters. It makes, again, a huge difference. And I will talk to you all soon. I'll be back in a couple of hours. Well, about an hour and a half. Hopefully, might be a little bit later, but we'll get it going. All right, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this stream. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.
See a true crime, we going deep in the dark. Yeah, peeling back the layers, exposed the hidden them up. From the streets to the alleys where the secrets lie. Getting into minds of the wicked, no alibi. It's true crime, unraveling the web of evil. No stone left unturned. We dive into the crime. Yeah, we digging up the dirt, bringing justice to the crime. LTL true crime, unveiling dark realities of the crime.